Another moto vlog. Well, trying to get back into it. Lately it's been kind of complicated. Few new things. FZ is loud. Roommate traded his 83 Shadow for, well, sold it, and he bought an 07 GS 500. Those grips are pink. Alright, today we're taking this for a little spin, which is always nice, and I am recording, thank God, because these are new batteries in my camera. Alrighty, so what's been going on? There, so you guys can hear me a little better. What's been going on? Well, I modded the FZ a little bit, as you can tell with the new windscreen. More about that later. But long story short, my camera died and the bike fell. Camera dying as in the battery literally fried out. So I thought this thing was busted for the longest time, but it wasn't, so that's good. And in the meantime, during the camera's breakingness, my roommate bought an 83 Shadow. That thing has so many problems. Later he sold it this year and bought this. We clean the chain, so that's what all that oil is. That's just chain stuff. He picked this up for a good deal. It's a nice bike, that's for sure. It's 500. It doesn't take off like a bat out of hell, but you know what? It's got plenty of power for the streets. Plenty of power. It'll get your motorcycle license removed. But anyway, that's his bike. So you'll probably see more of that this year. This is my bike. 2015 FZ07. Very dirty FZ07, might I add. I need to clean it. But done a few things to it. As you can hear, the exhaust. The stock exhaust, you literally can't hear it. I gotta remove that damn sticker. These levers have been on there since I started riding, because there's a story to that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, besides the windscreen, I picked this up. I like it. It definitely looks good. The other FZ07 stuff looks pretty tacky. Two Brothers S1R exhaust. The baffle is installed, believe it or not. So let's go for a little ride, and I'll vlog some more. Alright. Hopefully I don't stall it. Wow, that's so loud. That's so freaking loud. It's only 53 degrees, but it's not windy. I recorded a video not too long ago of me riding this around. Literally got sand blown in my face. Nice cars. Man, I hate that when you sit on a bike and your britches get all messed up. That's terrible, guys. But man, this thing does make a beautiful exhaust note. Watching videos of this bike online give it no justice. And this guy is literally taking forever. Let's go. Fucking if I was as young like that guy and had a Crown Vic with the V8, I would obviously be in trouble all the time. But I've got a Dodge Dakota RT with a V8, rather loud one. I've only gotten in trouble with that once. Speaking of trouble. Man, I love the sound of this bike. It sounds so good. But anyway, point of me doing this video is I want to talk to you guys about my plans for the channel, what I wanted to do. Plans for the channel include, but are not limited to, more motorcycle videos, because that's kind of what I adore, motorcycle shit. More firearm videos. Firearm videos are cool, and I'm in the process of building my bike up. It's running really lean. Two Brothers does say you don't need to retune your ECU when you put a full system exhaust on, but I'd like to disagree kindly. And there's a car there with a stop sign, thank God. And so they said you don't need to flash your ECU. You do. You do, or you get a shit ton of backfires like that. And boy, does it sound good though. I love the sound of it. They say you don't need to reflash it, but you do. So I am going with a Woolish Racing ECU flash. Difference between the ECU flash and a programmer is a physical device you install on your motorcycle. And I waited for this fucker, and I'm gonna be stuck behind him. God. Oh well, he's doing 25. That's the speed limit. But you do need your bike tuned when you do a full system exhaust. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Japanese bikes are generally very lean from the factory anyway, so it would definitely help with that. Look at the swinging them arms, lady. Jesus. What are you doing, walking or skiing? I'm an asshole. At least she's getting out and getting some exercise. I'm sitting around on my motorcycle. You can't pin this bike in first and second gear. It's just not a good decision because the front end will come up. So with a full system exhaust, you should get a tuner. I'm gonna have that on when I get back from Arizona. Yes, I am going to Arizona. Not with a motorcycle though, so sad to say. I won't be riding for a whole fucking week in the nicest freaking country in the world. I mean, state. My geography is shit. I've watched one of my videos, and I think I swear too much. So I'm gonna try and cut that back to make this a little bit more of a friendly channel. I work at a factory, so don't judge me. It's not the thing I'm most proud of in my life. Holy crap, this guy's speeding. He's going 32. Now I'm doing 38. But yeah, I want to talk to you guys about bikes. Most notably, and I'm shifting like an terrible person. There, I saved myself. Most notably, the older bikes, because my roommate had an old bike, and let's just say that didn't go very well for him. I've got a newer bike, and I love it. maybe I shouldn't have shifted it at first. I felt my back wheel locking up a little bit. But I want to talk to you guys about motorcycles, notably the older ones. When you buy a bike, there's no magic number about how old you should buy. At least the dealerships around here, they only work on a bike that's 10 years old or newer. So when you buy a bike and you're not too mechanically inclined, kind of like me, I mean, I can do the basic stuff like oil changes, exhaust installs. I can't do the tires because I've never done that before on a motorcycle. So, and that was kind of messy, but I got brakes and a clutch. But when you buy an older bike, let's just say 10 years, 15, we'll go 15, kind of be a little generous. 15 years on a bike. When you're 15 years older, a lot of shops don't work on them. Well, of course, and I just did a false neutral. Well, there's some variables, like how popular the bike was. You know, that just goes to show about how well some people can work on stuff. It just depends. If it's a more common bike, you're gonna have better odds of the bike being able to be worked on. And if it's something kind of complicated, chances are you're gonna have to learn how to do it yourself. So when you're buying a bike, think about that aspect. How old is it? Is it a common motorcycle, or is it a kind of a bastardized thing? There's little kids in the back of a pickup truck. Okay, and this guy doesn't use his turn signal. Well, we'll just go over here, turn around. I don't want to feel like I'm stalking this dude's kids. And I did it again. God damn it. I mean, darn it. I'm trying to clean up my language. But when you buy these older bikes, keep in mind, how common is it? Is it a bike I know how to work on? Thanks for giving me the road, dudette. Freaking lady. You're on the opposite side of the road. And these poor people are just like, this loud ass motorcycle is just kind of tearing up my turf. Okay, let's see if I can do this without dropping it. Beautiful. So when you're looking for a bike, keep that in mind. Is it easy to work on? And if not, how old is it? Because if you don't know how to work on it and you go to take it to a shop, you can't just take it to the nearest Yamaha, Honda, Harley might be different. Their bikes have kind of been the same for a while. And from what I heard, Harleys are pretty, never mind. They're weird. Either that or jet bikes are weird, one of the two. So when you're buying a bike, think about that. Think about how easy is it to work on, and can you learn how to work on it yourself. As well as that, think about the price. Unless you have the cash to right out buy it, you're gonna have to take out a loan, kind of like what I did. If you take out a loan, you gotta book the value of your motorcycle, so you know you're not getting took. That, and you gotta know how a bank works. From my experience, a bank won't finance a motorcycle or a car or anything for that matter that's crazy expensive, like way over its book price. So this guy's kind of coming. Okay, thank you for stopping. So if a bike is more expensive than what it books at, in a perfect world, a guy or a girl can walk away and look for another bike. But if you really want this motorcycle and say it's like $3,000 and the bike books at 26, you know, chances are that bank is not going to finance it for you. So what you're going to have to do is I think they'll give you 26, but that means you got to come up with more money down, and it's always a good idea to have money down when you're gonna buy stuff. Kind of makes you save more money in the long run. Oh, I felt my back tire slip. That's kind of a cool car. So you got to take into consideration the price, and not only that, but you got to consider insurance, and I got to consider how to shift properly, because if I keep doing this, I'm going to get myself hurt. So yeah, and you also got to consider how long you plan on keeping the thing, you know. Is it a bike you can grow into, or is it a bike you're gonna sell in 2 months, you know? So yeah, you gotta figure out a lot of stuff. And if you're gonna sell it in 2 months, it's better to put cash on, because if you take out a loan, you're gonna be in trouble. You're not gonna make any money on that motorcycle, even if you put parts and accessories into it. So it's always just a good idea to kind of shop around. Man, I'm backfiring a lot. So it's a good idea to shop around, kind of get an idea of what you want. If you're a beginner rider, you know, chances are getting a second-hand motorcycle is kind of the way to go. The FZ07 at the time, when I was looking at it, I got an estimate for the 2015 FZ07, and with all the stupid taxes and the charges, it came to about $7,000. And me being a beginner rider, $7,000 is kind of a lot to spend on a motorcycle, and this guy's a cop and I don't want to get pulled over. All the sand too. See if he's following me. No. So if you're a beginner rider, it's kind of a hard thing to do, but I picked this up for $4,000. The 2015 FZ07 with 171 miles on it. And you know, I pretty much stole the thing. So like I said, it's always a good idea to shop around. You know, you can save a lot of money on bikes. This is my first motorcycle. The FZ07 is a 700cc, roughly, you know, 689cc cross-plane, whatever. But it's roughly a 700. And it's my first bike. And I was doing that a lot when I first started riding. Chopping the throttle, or what do they call that, a whiskey throttle? So I got used to it. I'm still learning, but I got used to it nonetheless. Another really great thing to do before you go out and buy a motorcycle is to take the MSF course. Just type in MSF course in wherever you live. That's all you need to do. Like, say you live in Georgia, MSF program in Georgia. So it's not hard. MSF program in Georgia. I think for me it was a 3-day class, you know. It was $180 here in Minnesota because Minnesota likes to do that to people and stinking take all of your money. But anyway, I'm a happy person. So, and it's for motorcycles, and motorcycles are kind of my bae. Kind of really the only place where I can ride without making too much wind noise. So, you know, take your MSF class. That's always a good place to start. See, you know, it will start you out on a smaller bike anyway, so you won't need to go out and buy freaking small motorcycle for no reason. So just do that. Save your money, buy a 650 class or a 500 if you really want a bike. Or if you really feel creative, you can buy a 1000 or a 600. It doesn't matter. Whatever you feel like you can control. And granted, this bike can outride me any day. The FZ07 is kind of it's supposed to be kind of a learner bike, but you know Yamaha, they always like to put big engines in small things. So that's always a good idea. I'm glad I didn't start on a smaller bike, because I'd be selling that thing in a heartbeat. So, just take the MSF class, save up your money, and buy whatever the hell you want. You know, people say, "Oh, start on a 250." You know, it's like, yeah, you can do that, but in the MSF class, you ride a 250 anyway. Well, I rode a Grom. Taking the MSF class on a Grom is very easy. And I'll do a more thorough review on the MSF class, kind of what I did. We'll talk about that more in another video. I'm already over budget here on time. So, just kind of, you know, take the class, get your license, save up your money, whether it's for a down payment or if you're buying outright, which, yeah, I covered that earlier. So, you know, that's just easier to do. It's a better thing to do. Don't waste your money. You know, because you're gonna want to be throwing in money anyway from a stock bike. You're gonna want to get rid of the stock exhaust. That's expensive. And a cool thing about getting a bike is you can learn a lot from them. People say you learn how to ride better on a smaller bike. Well, maybe. I don't know. I've never rode I have rode a small bike, Grom, but not outside of a class. Oh, wedgie. You know, you could also save up money and buy a 500. You know, sure, the GS 500 is named gutless, but it goes pretty good. I mean, not like that, but it's not supposed to. It'll do 100. You know, all you need to do is probably at most 90, or yeah, 90 at most. You don't need to do over 100. Granted, it's very fun, but it's kind of scary too. The bike feels completely different at 100. But yeah, that's what old Jared Brock thinks you all should do. If you're looking for a new bike or your first bike, take the MSF class. Take it right away. Well, you gotta take your permit and whatnot, but take it right away before you go out and buy one. I went out and bought this right away because the price. The price was so cheap. It's very cheap to buy. I have no regrets over it. It's pretty much, it sounds amazing. It's snappy. It looks good. I used to hate the way the FZ07 looked. You know. Then I saw it in person, and I was like, whoa, okay, beautiful. I was originally looking at Fared bikes and stuff, but they're weird. Well, that's weird. Well, it's weird. Feels like you're in a boat. But I'll do it first time. Well, I'll do another video on that. Yeah, it's kind of what you want to do some research. Naked versus Fared versus cruisers, supermotos. Just get what you want. That's a lot easier. If you feel comfortable on one of these, get one. You know, don't waste money. All right. See y'all later.